Victor Wembanyama is already shattering the very definition of what's possible in the NBA. This isn't just hype. It's not a fantasy anymore. This man is on a legitimate path to becoming one of the absolute greatest to ever play the game. I mean, you've got Giannis, a two-time MVP and a certified monster on the court, literally telling people, I want his first rookie card ever. That's not some random fan geeking out. That is the ultimate stamp of approval from the league's elite. Think about the giants of the past. Most of them were slow, lumbering, and just couldn't hang with the pace of the modern game. But Wemby completely flips that script. He's got handles like a point guard, can drain it from downtown, and still protects the rim like a prime Dikembe Mutombo. Now, only in his third year, he's dropping absolutely jaw-dropping stats, making him must-see TV for anyone who loves basketball. Welcome to the age of Wemby. So, let's rewind to the moment the Wemby phenomenon truly ignited. Picture this. October 2022, Wemby and his French pro squad, Metro 92, flew into Las Vegas for a couple of exhibition matchups against the young guns of the G League Ignite. This was essentially a high-stakes audition with every important NBA scout and executive glued to their courtside seats. It was billed as the ultimate showdown. Scoot versus Wemby. The matchup the entire basketball world was desperate to witness. And believe me, he did not disappoint. Across those two contests, the 18-year-old phenom put up an insane average of 36.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 4.5 blocks a game. In the first game, he exploded for 37 points, sinking an incredible 7 of 11 from beyond the arc, adding 5 blocks, and battling Scoot Henderson shot for shot. Then in game 2, he followed it up with 36 points, 11 boards, 4 more blocks, and this time, he carried his squad to victory. But the legend of Wemby was already being whispered about long before he touched down in Vegas. Stories started leaking from practice sessions that when he was only 16 years old, Wemby was already giving Rudy Gobert, a man with multiple Defensive Player of the Year trophies, a world of trouble, draining deep jumpers and hitting him with crossovers. NBA champion Richard Jefferson summed it up best, imagining a wild scenario where Wemby and a young LeBron were in the same draft. If LeBron James at that exact moment showed up, Victor would go higher than him. You have never seen any player in the history of this planet be able to do what he can do with his size. Now, remember, this is coming from a guy who is teammates with LeBron. This wasn't just some casual praise. It was a powerful declaration of just how unprecedented a talent Wemby is. The hype had officially reached a fever pitch. Franchises across the NBA were shamelessly throwing seasons, all for a chance to land him in the 2023 lottery. And the San Antonio Spurs, they struck gold, landing the #1 pick and selecting him. And Wemby's reaction? It was the perfect mix of humility and competitive fire. He said, I'm trying to win a ring as soon as possible, so be ready. His rookie campaign began in the Summer League, and after a rocky first game, he immediately silenced the critics, roaring back with 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks. When the real game started, he posted an insane rookie stat line, averaging 21.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and a league-leading 3.6 blocks, all while shooting 46.5% from the field. The accolades poured in. A unanimous Rookie of the Year award, the first rookie to make the all-defensive first team since the legendary Tim Duncan, and he finished as the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. His signature performances absolutely electrified the NBA. How about dropping 38 points and 10 boards against Phoenix in just his 5th game? Or that masterpiece against Toronto with 27 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and 10 blocks. With that performance, he etched his name alongside icons like Kareem, Hakeem, Ralph Sampson, and David Robinson as one of the few players in the entire history of the league to record over 25 points, 10 rebounds, 10 blocks, and 5 assists in a single game. But listen, his impact goes way beyond the box score. It's about the passion and the pure joy he brings to the court. Kevin Durant described it perfectly after they played. His enthusiasm for the game. You can tell that through the TV and playing against him. He's his own player, his own person. He's going to create his own lane and is much different than anyone else who has ever played. And you know, Hall of Famer Paul Pierce isn't afraid to speak his mind. He made a massive call early in the season, proclaiming that Wemby was already a top 5 talent in the whole league. Keep in mind, this was before Wemby had even finished his rookie year. Later, Pierce went even further, crowning him the single most gifted player in the game today. Of course, he's faced stiff competition, especially in the Rookie of the Year race against Chet Holmgren. The media built it up as this epic battle, and in the end, Wemby clearly rose above. He made history, becoming the first player to ever average more than 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks in less than 30 minutes a game. And when you look at how they've matched up head-to-head over the years, Wemby consistently matches or surpasses Chet in both scoring and shot blocking. Then you have his battles with the Greek Freak himself. In their 4 meetings to date, Wemby has put up about 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 blocks per game against him. And while Giannis always gets his numbers, he had nothing but profound respect for Wemby after their games. He flat out said, "He's special. I've never seen anything like him." That's high praise from a 2-time MVP who has been bullying the entire NBA for years. In his sophomore season, Wemby took his game to an entirely new level. Through 46 games, his averages jumped to 24.3 points, 11 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and an NBA best 3.8 blocks per contest. Statistics like that put him in truly elite company. He earned his first All-Star selection and was once again a leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. But then, everything took a dramatic turn. His highlight reel from that season was just absurd. Take the game against Utah, for instance. He casually dropped his second career 5x5. That's 25 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals, and 5 blocks to lead the Spurs to a win. Only a very small club of players in NBA history have ever recorded more than one 5x5 game. And Wemby accomplished that feat at just 20 years old. And who could forget his colossal 40-point, 20-rebound performance against the Knicks in that overtime classic? He was the first player since Shaquille O'Neal to put up a 40-20 stat line in a single game. And we have to talk about his career-high 50-point eruption against Washington. He did it at just 20 years and 314 days old, which made him the 4th youngest player in history to hit that mark. All the momentum was pointing towards an historic season. But then, disaster struck. In February of 2025, he received a terrifying diagnosis: deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot discovered in his right shoulder. The injury immediately ended his season. The Spurs had no choice but to shut him down. And even though the medical staff remained positive about his long-term recovery, it was a chilling moment that instantly conjured painful memories for basketball fans everywhere. You immediately think of Chris Bosh, whose incredible career was tragically ended by recurring blood clots. Or even Ralph Sampson, who is arguably the original unicorn. A 7'4" phenom with the skills of a guard, he exploded into the league back in 1983, averaging 21 points and 11 rebounds as a rookie. But his path to greatness was tragically cut short by a series of devastating knee and back injuries. Sampson ended up averaging around 15 points and 9 rebounds for his career, but due to those injuries, he never quite hit the stratospheric potential his talent promised. Wemby's sophomore year was a showcase of breathtaking dominance, but it also served as a stark and painful reminder of just how fragile a legendary career can be. And yet, his potential is absolutely limitless. After a blood clot scare nearly derailed his career, he didn't just bounce back, he was reborn. During the offseason, he embraced a total monk-like discipline, training at a Shaolin temple to forge an unbreakable mind-body connection through kung fu and meditation. He then sought wisdom from the gods of the game, learning footwork from the legendary Hakeem Olajuwon, and channeling a champion's mindset with Kevin Garnett. This was anything but a vacation. As he declared, "I can guarantee that nobody trained the way I did this summer. It was truly world-class." Even Joakim Noah marveled. "I believe his greatest strength is his intelligence." Meanwhile, Spurs assistant coach Mitch Johnson added, "The sheer intention he puts into every single method of improving as an athlete and a human being is something I have genuinely never witnessed before. That relentless drive is the very thing that transforms raw potential into absolute dominance." And now, this season has arrived. So far, he has been an absolute wrecking ball, averaging around 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks, while shooting an incredible 51% from the field. His level of efficiency is simply astounding. We're talking 62% true shooting, APER of around 27.5, which is top tier for bigs, and .214 win shares per 48 minutes, catapulting him into the MVP conversation from day one. He's already piled up 103 blocks, putting him on pace to lead the entire league once again. Through his first 155 career games, he has amassed over 3,500 points, 1,600 rebounds, and 500 blocks, which brings back memories of David Robinson's early reign, but with far more modern, perimeter-based firepower. The unforgettable moments? In the season opener against the Mavericks, he erupted for 40 points on 71.4% shooting, forcing Derek Lively to foul out and making Anthony Davis look like just another player. The Spurs shot out to a 5-0 start for the first time in their history, and their defensive rating in that game dropped to a mind-blowing 80.6, a mark better than any team has posted in decades. Facing the Bulls, he put on a clinic with 38 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks, which included him scoring 10 straight points to take over in the fourth quarter. And his defense? It is an absolute nightmare for opponents. They shoot 10% worse near the rim whenever he's in the vicinity, and the Spurs' defensive rating instantly becomes elite the second he checks in. It's hardly a shock that ESPN ranked him number 1 on their 25 under 25 list, proclaiming that Wemby isn't just the NBA's future. He may already be its present, but his influence extends far beyond the court. He is exploding into a global icon, launching the NBA into brand new markets. The Spurs' opening game drew an average of 2.49 million viewers, a staggering 63% increase from last year. In this season alone, he's responsible for over 708 million views on the NBA's social media platforms. He's second only to megastars like Luka and Steph. Over his career, he's the fastest player ever to reach 1 billion views across all league platforms, igniting NBA fever in France and driving engagement throughout Europe. At the 2024 Olympics, he guided France to a silver medal, then left the world with a chilling smirk, saying, "I'm learning. I'm worried for my opponents in a couple of years." Off the court, fans are captivated by his humble and positive energy. Even with his skyrocketing fame, Giannis himself predicts he will become one of the league's greatest players within the next few years. Shaq chimed in, stating, "Victor is redefining what a big man is capable of, elevating the position to an entirely different dimension. It's another piece of evidence as to why he is a 1 in a billion phenomenon. He is on a historic trajectory to be the first NBA player ever to reach billionaire status from his on-court contracts alone. No endorsements, no side businesses, just earnings from playing basketball." While legends like LeBron and Jordan relied on off-court ventures and massive brand deals, Wemby's current path could make him the ultimate self-made basketball billionaire by the time he's in his early 30s. Let's break down the unbelievable math. This is all made possible by the NBA's surging salary cap, which increases by roughly 10% each year due to enormous TV deals and worldwide expansion. Wemby is currently on his 4-year rookie deal worth $55.2 million through 2026-27, the maximum allowed for a number 1 pick under the current collective bargaining agreement. But if he maintains this incredible pace, he will be eligible for a 5-year rookie max extension worth approximately $316 million beginning in the 2027-28 season. Following that, he becomes eligible for a supermax deal. If he performs at an all-NBA level, which, let's face it, he's already doing, the numbers get even bigger. That contract could be a 5-year deal exceeding $529 million. Let's add that all up. By that contract's end, at around age 33, he'll be near $900 million. He just needs one more deal. Boom. Over $1 billion in career earnings, with the potential to reach $1.05 billion by his 14th season at age 34. For perspective, no one has ever come close to this from salary alone. LeBron's career contract earnings are around $479 million through 2024, projected to exceed $530 million with extensions. Steph is at $470 million so far. Kevin Durant is near $400 million. Wemby's timing was absolutely perfect. He joined the league just as the salary cap is projected to explode from today's $141 million to potentially over $200 million by the 2030s, driven by deals like the NBA's $76 billion television rights jackpot. It's as if he was designed in a lab for this specific era. This financial potential only amplifies his power as a global icon. Just imagine the French phenom earning that kind of historic money while simultaneously making the NBA more popular across the globe. He is already causing massive viewership surges in Europe and beyond, turning casual observers into devoted fans and showing kids on every continent that their wildest dreams are possible. That path to becoming a billionaire from on-court earnings alone could easily cement him as a cultural titan on the same level as Pelé or Tiger Woods. He could be someone who doesn't just dominate their sport, but fundamentally changes how the world views it. But let's get one thing straight. None of this is possible without the otherworldly set of skills that he brings to the game. At 7'4", he combines the silky smooth handles of KD, the relentless driving power of Giannis, and the long-distance shooting touch of Dirk, all while protecting the rim like a prime Hakeem. This is a mix of abilities that has never before existed in a single player. And the statistics prove this is not a fantasy. This is history unfolding before our eyes. Look at his first 100 career games. Wemby scored 2,278 points, the 7th most in the last 45 years, grabbed over 1,000 rebounds, and tallied 366 blocks. That is more blocks than Shaq, Mutombo, or Hakeem had in their first 100 games. He's even hit more three-pointers than Steph Curry did through his first 100 games. No one has ever blended that kind of scoring, rebounding, and elite shot blocking at such a young age and with such efficiency. He is the only player in NBA history to achieve over 1,500 points, over 250 blocks, and over 100 three-pointers in a single season. That's a statistical achievement that combines high-volume offense, shutdown defense, and elite shooting in a way that is genuinely unprecedented. And on top of all that, he's the first to record multiple games with over 20 points, pulling down 15 rebounds, sending back at least 5 shots, and hitting 5 threes in a game. That's insane. Or how about this? Averaging more than 20 points and 10 boards before you're even 21, the first player to do it since Shaq. And that's exactly why he's not just breaking records, he's absolutely obliterating them. He's on a trajectory that makes even a young LeBron's early career look slow in some crucial stats. We're seeing more points and more boards over the same stretch of games, plus a whole other dimension of rim protection and deep shooting. Look, what we're watching isn't just talent. It's the kind of freakish rarity that only appears once in a generation. The only thing that could possibly derail this train is staying healthy. It's the oldest truth in the game. You can't be great if you're not on the court. But if he can stay healthy and keeps getting better, which his insane work ethic pretty much guarantees, then talking about him as the greatest of all time isn't crazy. It's starting to look like an absolute certainty. Major publications like Esquire are already planting their flag, splashing it across their cover. Why Victor Wembanyama will be the greatest of all time? Forget about him being the next big thing. He is the here and now, an absolute terror for every team he faces, and the living myth that has captivated fans around the globe. He makes you genuinely believe that the limits of what's possible are being redrawn every night. You can call him one in a billion, but that doesn't cover it. He's simply the one.